a lot of the depression is the visible changes that I deal with my mother.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Especially my mother, every day she's a little bit worse. She's a little bit worse in that she loses herself. She's forgetting things. So my technique to deal with that is humor. I try to make her laugh. I try and make it fun. Like
we all do.
Yeah.
Both of us, definitely, all the time.
One of the things, like this morning when I went down to replace my mother's diaper in the morning, and so I'll make it funny. So what I'll do is, like today, I opened the diaper, and I as soon as I pulled it down, I said, "Oh my God!" And she says, "What's the matter?" I said, "I found the Lindbergh baby." And of course, because of her age group, she thought it was hysterical. And that also snapped her back to reality.
Yeah, but it's also knowing the patient, right?
Knowing the patient.
You say that to somebody else, or if you're a paid caregiver, you cannot say that to your
No.
patient.
Oh, no.
But this is your mom, and you know her sense of humor and her sarcasm and stuff like that. Just like I do. I like teasing my wife with those type of things as well.
And actually, laughter is helpful, I think. Especially, it kind of brings her back to reality for some reason a little bit. Because I get anxious about her losing herself every time, and it's funny because when this all started, when my mother started declining about maybe less than a year after my father died, and noticeably her personality was changing, and then when she started having medical issues that she had to be hospitalized, that's when I really got scared, especially when she was medicated, and when she was coming out of the anesthesia, she was really delusional and saying crazy things. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, is this permanent? What am I going to do?
Yeah. And
I was panic stricken. And that feeling kind of stayed with me because I knew that eventually how delusional she was going to eventually be how she is all the time. And that's kind of how she is all the time. Part of the thing, my mother is hard of hearing, and we have hearing aids for her. And the frustrating thing is that, for her, it's a foreign object. She'll just take it right out. So she won't, there's no point in leaving it in. And a lot of times, I wonder, like we have the TV on, I'm wondering if she's getting anything out of the TV because she's not hearing. Even closed captioning is on. Maybe she's reading a word or two. But, a lot of times I'll say to her, I'm busy doing something in the kitchen or something. And I'll say to her, do you want me to put the TV on? And she'll say no. And you wonder, what is she doing? She's just going to sit there and daydream. And that makes me really sad. And it makes, and that triggers my depression.
Yeah. I can't imagine that. My wife definitely goes through a lot of confusion at times, but then there are moments of clarity.
Yeah.
Where it's, she wakes up and she's like, is this our house? Like, this is our house, isn't it? Like, I'm like, oh, my wife's back.
Yeah.
It's short-lived, but
right.
But again, some of that could be just from being in the bed all the time.
Yeah.
But
she's still relatively young, so.
But the anxiety and the depression.
The Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
So that's how I play every single day in the morning, and the reason is because I want to think my mother's alive every morning.
Yeah.
And I'm so afraid. I really am. So I procrastinate, and then rather than
open the door, pull back the curtain, you're like,
I don't even go down to check on my mother in the morning. I have security cameras everywhere. So I check the security camera to see if she's breathing, if there's movement. I'm so afraid. So, and then I'll because she's at the stage where, because of how she's functioning, she could literally be in bed all day and not realize that a second went by.
Right.
But I don't do. I mean, I'm not going to leave her in a wet diaper all day or anything like that. But I stay in my bedroom for an hour when I wake up before I go downstairs.
I do it too.
Yeah.
You're not alone there.
Yeah. But I do it because,
I'm like, if I make a noise out there, she's going to call me and need something. And I'm like, maybe I got 10 more minutes. Maybe I got 10 more minutes.
That's the thing with my mother, because of dementia, she's not needy at all. You know, she's it's not like, it's really mostly with me, is she alive? The Schrodinger's cat thing.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just always, as long as I don't check on her, she's definitely still alive,
When things got really bad,
Mm-hmm.
I am still up like 50 pounds, but that happened within 6 months.
Right.
I went up 50 pounds and I started drinking bottles of liquor a week. And I guess it was a cry of help too, because I always wanted to keep checks on myself to let everybody know I would never be one of those that I'm hiding it in the corner type of thing. So I, send little jokes out with 3 bottles of liquor, and I send pictures to people saying, "Hey, just hanging out with my buds." And I was never a liquor drinker.
Right.
I drank my beer and stuff like that. But, when this happened, I was like, no, this isn't strong enough. I need,
It's funny because I know other people that made that transition, that went from beer to hard alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I've never before in my life drank because I felt like I needed to drink.
Right.
I needed a drug. I needed a pill or something.
Right.
It's always been as a recreational, like, oh, it's a Saturday night, let's just enhance the night a little bit and have some fun. But this was...
I'm not familiar with that.
No, you're not. He doesn't drink. He doesn't...
No, nothing.
He doesn't do anything.
No, I procrastinate.
You procrastinate.
And I watch YouTube.
But I'm a visual person. Yeah. Right? I'm a designer. So for me, I actually could see the depression when that was happening, when I was at my worst. I'm not seeing that anymore, but every once in a while it rears its ugly head. Like I would finish work on a Friday night. I'm walking down the stairs feeling all happy. It's Friday. I've got the weekend, and my aide will say those trigger words. She's really not feeling well today. And that's it. I am done for the whole weekend. I'm going to start drinking. I'm going to do it was terrible, but visually, I would describe it to the doctor like I can actually see the depression. It is the gray screen. It's a gray screen of death. It starts up here and it goes like this.
Yeah.
It slides down. I could see through it. I said, but there's this presence there.
This sounds like Harry Potter.
And when I drank, what happened was it closed the door.
Right.
But I could feel the door pushing.
Yeah.
Like somebody was outside the door trying to get in, and it was the depression. So the depression was always there.
Yeah.
The drugs and stuff would just camouflage those things.
Yeah, you're masking it temporarily. Yeah.
I'm not as good as I was before she went into the hospital, but I'm much better than when she was in the hospital. I went through a good year or two of hell with, how am I going to do this? First, when I came home, the stresses of that. I went from normal struggles to now having to do a tracheostomy, take care of a wound, do all of these different medical procedures that only nurses know how to do. And they were like, okay, you got that? Go home.
Well, and you should mention also that that these things take their toll, not just emotionally, but physically, me too. I mean, probably one of the reasons that I developed these heart issues is because I became sedentary, and I was sedentary because that's how I manifest, my depression. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to,
and people will tell you the best thing you do when you feel that way is get out and do things. Yeah. But you're depressed.
Yeah, I don't want to get out and do anything, right?
A family member of mine goes through a lot of depression and was just really down, and had some friends say, hey, this is what you need to do to help yourself. You need to exercise. You need to eat better. You need to do all this. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, he's really depressed. And they're like, well, did you do what we said? He's like, no, because he wasn't capable of doing it. Right. When you're that depressed, you can't get yourself out of it sometimes. So they were just frustrated, and they were like, well, if you can't help yourself, what are we supposed to do? Which is the wrong thing to say. But the advice that I gave him is, you have reached a point now where just casual talking doesn't work. You need a professional. They're trying to help you. Even if they're doing a bad job at it right now, they really care about you, but they don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle this. You need to go talk to a professional about this type of thing. That's what he did, and things did get better from there. Yeah. But, the advantage
also is that when you see a professional, you're paying a bill and you're motivated to be there on time. You're motivated to
Yes.
to follow through. You're on a schedule. You know, it's easy to tell people, you know what, eat better, do this, do that, do this. Most people aren't going to do things when you just you bark out orders to them. Right. Oh, and then you're in fault because you didn't follow my instructions.
Right.
Yeah.
But definitely go talk to a therapist. Yeah. On the bottom of our description, we also put a helpline there if things are dire.
Yeah.
Don't look to us. Go to the pros. But by all means, share your stories with us because that's what we're doing with each other and with you.
That's right.
In hopes that we can all help each other.
Yep. And like we said in the beginning, you know, that we want this YouTube channel to be driven by the viewers, and so you make suggestions, you make comments, and anything that you sent us. I mean, we look at every comment, you know, and take every suggestion. And, you know, there are things that we might not even thought to cover and may discover from your suggestions. So, you know, we want it to be viewer supported, viewer run channel.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's session, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons with alerts on to join us for other caregiver discussions. Most importantly, just the two of us talking doesn't make a group. We need you to contribute to our group in the comments below. We would love to hear about your experiences and any suggestions, including future topics. That's all for now, but remember that by helping each other, we are not alone.